One thing I want to call your attention to is that I have you focus on a particular page range within the original Smart Book reading for this unit and chapter. So I tell you to focus on pages 209 to 219 and then 226 to 233. So this is where you're going to get the introductory remarks with more details about empiricism itself, as well as Aristotle. And then here's where you're going to get the stuff about Locke. So I just wanted to point that out. I don't want you to waste your time looking at stuff between 220, from 220 to 225. So make sure you take note of that and that you know where any of this is with respect to that. Like I said in another video, you should know exactly on what pages Aristotle is discussed and where's Locke is discussed. Keep in mind that Lawhead will sometimes make points about one philosopher while talking about another philosopher, so do note those points. So if he says here in the discussion of Locke in the Smart Book that he agrees or disagrees with Descartes, even a rationalist, or with Aristotle on something, then you want to take note of that. Anchor points. So I have this in the study guide for empiricism, and I don't think I mentioned it in the other video, anchor points for rationalism. Notice that I say to include the meaning of innate ideas. So what does Lawhead say about innate ideas when he's discussing the anchor points? What are the three anchor points? What's the gist? These would be true, false, or multiple choice, by the way. Same thing here. What's the gist of the anchor points? The anchor points are all organized and aligned perfectly with the three questions that he said he would be using to organize your understanding of epistemology. Remember, he presented those three questions that you're actually supposed to know for the test. Know also that in the beginning of this section on empiricism in the chapter, that he says more about empiricism and or a posteriori thinking. So make sure that you know what he says about innate ideas and what Aristotle and Locke might think of them, or the empiricists generally might think about them, as compared to what a rationalist might think about innate ideas. And then just study and follow everything that I say here carefully. As I mentioned in the other video, it's a good idea to take 2 or 3 notes, maybe write 2 or 3 things from the Smart Book about each of these topics here. All of these will be multiple choice or true, false. I made it a point to make sure that everybody, gets a really good question for all of these right here. And I can tell you right here that these 2 are going to be true or false. I think that's all I have for you. As with rationalism and skepticism, there will be no fill in the blank for empiricism. The test questions for skepticism, rationalism, and empiricism will all be multiple choice or true false.